everyone, I'm Maggie, welcome back to No Frills Kitchen, and today we're going to be making a Megrelian Kharcho recipe. Megrelian Kharcho is a Georgian beef and walnut stew that comes from the western Samegrelo region. It uses a lot of traditional Georgian spices and techniques, and it's one of my absolute favorite Georgian dishes. And if you like learning more about Georgian food and cooking, make sure to hit the subscribe button. There isn't a whole lot of prep that's required for this dish, as it's pretty straightforward and there are only a few ingredients. First, season your beef stew meat liberally with salt and pepper. I recommend using a chuck roast for this as it works really well. Make sure to trim off any excess fat from the meat and cut it into bite-sized pieces. Now you're going to need half a medium yellow onion. And roughly dice a small tomato. You can peel it if you'd like, but I really don't think it's necessary. Then finely grind 125 grams of walnuts. You can do this quickly in a food processor or in a mortar and pestle like I'm doing. You can even put them in a plastic bag and bash them with a heavy pan or rolling pin. Transfer the walnuts to a bowl and grate in a few cloves of garlic. Then add a teaspoon each of blue fenugreek, ground coriander seed, and dried marigold powder. Then add half a teaspoon of dried savory or thyme and a quarter teaspoon of cayenne pepper. Some of these spices can be hard to find, but they're generally available online. Stir this to combine and set aside. Also, I've cut the recipe in half from what is linked in the description, as it was just me and Michael eating this. Moving to the stovetop, we're going to divert from the traditional Georgian method and brown our meat. Over medium heat in a large pot or Dutch oven, heat about a tablespoon of neutral oil until shimmering and add your beef. When browning, be careful not to overcrowd the pot because you may not get the desired effect. If you're making a whole batch of this kharcho, then you'll likely need to work in 2 batches. Once your meat has been browned on both sides, remove it from the pot and set aside. Lower your heat to medium-low and add your onion, along with a pinch of salt. Cook the onion until it's softened and translucent, scraping up any browned bits from the beef as they release their moisture. Add about a tablespoon of tomato paste and cook for another 2 minutes or so. Add your diced tomato and cook until the tomato has broken down and released its juices, about 5 minutes. Add your walnut, garlic, and spices mixture and stir to combine with the onions and tomato. Cook until it's very fragrant, only about a minute longer. Return your beef to the pot along with any accumulated juices and stir to combine with the walnuts. Pour over 500 ml of chicken stock, stir and bring to a boil. Reduce the heat so that the kharcho is at a bare simmer, cover and allow the stew to simmer until the flavors have melded, the sauce has thickened slightly, and the beef is very tender. About 2.5 hours. Make sure to stir occasionally to see how it's coming along. After about 2.5 hours, uncover the pot and allow to simmer for a further 30 minutes or so, just until the sauce thickens and reduces a bit more. Now, all there's left to do is serve up your kharcho. It's traditionally served on top of a bed of gomi, which is kind of like a Georgian polenta, or with a side of chatti, which is a kind of Georgian cornbread. However, it's also absolutely incredible on its own with some crusty bread. And that's how you make Megrelian Kharcho. Let me know in the comments if there are any Georgian recipes you want to see next, and if you like the video, please give it a big thumbs up and make sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss my next videos.